in addition to the online application. So they might require also any supplemental application, and you need to submit that as well. If you do not submit the supplemental or you do not apply to that university, then they would not look at your application. They will take your money, but they won't look at your application.
Sam?
So when we're getting letters of recommendation from various professors or whatever it is, should we be getting things in duplicate because we're applying to different programs? And do you know what I mean?
So the thing is, for the online system, you just let the professor that you're choosing to write the letter, just let them know you're applying to multiple programs, and they only need to fill out one letter of recommendation because it's an online system. And
no,
it's online.
They get an email and they fill out the email.
So when you fill out your application, once you put the contact person's name and address, and you get out of that area, the system will automatically send us a notification with a link and login, and we log in, and we get to then fill out whichever form that has been requested.
And that's the distance internship.
No,
What about the CDP though?
The CDP,
That's not the CDP, that's
we're
what I mean.
antiquated. We use paper. So.
Yeah, when I say that, I mean there's two different programs.
Yes.
DPD and
DPD and
but
CDP.
Within the DPD, there's distance and there's the regular internship where the internship program, the director does find sites for you. You don't need to look for the sites all on your own. On average, the internships where the directors already have their sites, on average they take in about 4 to 5 students. The distance programs on average is about 20 to 25. Okay? Because they don't have to find the sites for you. So you're doing all the legwork and they're just like handling the paperwork to process you through.
So when you say the ones, the 4 or 5, is that like Elizabeth where she moved to Puerto Rico?
Yes.
That's what you're talking about?
Yes.
So it's applying to an internship and going to Boston University's internship program.
Yes, so I just wanted to mention that, yeah, my program was through DPD, and I did have to enter my rankings and the digital. Yeah, I did do that. Yes, and the internship set up all my rotations, so I just had to show up to my rotations every week. They took care of that, so. It wasn't anything.
It's kind of like the CDP in a sense. We set up the rotations, the student just goes.
Yeah, but for distant internship, I set up by myself. So in other way, you can say it's a flexible schedule. You can take breaks. But you have to schedule ahead of time before you start the internship. And the other way around is very complicated because I need to look for preceptors or sites by myself. So I spent like almost 2 months to look for sites, and I think the clinical rotation will be very tough for all of us because CDP already took in some of those hospitals in this area, and also Cal State Long Beach, Season, Cal Poly Pomona, they took all those hospitals. So I think it's very tight for us to look for distant internship, especially the clinical rotations. School district is relatively easy because there's a lot of school district. So this is, I spent like two months only look for sites.
Do you have a fixed amount of time to get all that done? Is there like a deadline, or do they just whenever you
just
get
like what Professor
Before
Luke
the application deadline, you need to have all your preceptors set before the application deadline, which is February 15th.
Yeah.
So remember, February 15th.
Yeah, but start early, not a BS. Start early. I start like during my winter break. So after you finish the final, please start if you want to do the distant internship.
Hey, Jacqueline?
So you said you started a winter break and you had to apply to the school as well, but don't a lot of schools' applications end in November?
I think the deadline gonna be
You're talking about the two different times you apply. There's 2 times?
Well, they said if you do a distance, not only are you in their internship program, but sometimes they make you apply to their school as well. But a lot of schools require you to have applications before December, like the end of November. So the deadline for a lot of school applications?
They'll have the information on their website as to the deadline in regards to the conjunction with the internship program.
I just want to clarify, so with the CDP program, you can do the internship during your graduate program, but with a regular internship, you have to apply towards the very end of your program. Is that how it works?
You have to have a verification statement for the regular internship, correct?
Yes.
And in order to get that verification statement, you either have to have an undergraduate degree in nutritional science, or you have to be a graduate student who completed all the didactic coursework. And so as you get close to that, then you can start applying to internships. So those of you who are going to be finishing with all of your didactic coursework by spring, by the end of spring, and graduating either in June, or if you're in the graduate program and you're finishing your didactic coursework, you could apply to internships in February.
What I wanted to mention was, what I did was, so I graduated June 2010, and my application for the dietetic internship was due February 2010. So I submitted my transcripts with the grades of winter 2009. So I finished winter 2009, and my application was actually due mid-January. Most of them are due mid-February, but mine was due mid-January. So, and then I went to my internship. I went to Puerto Rico July 2010. Was that? So it was quick. I finished and got my stuff ready and left.
Gilda?
Just to be clear, how many rotations are there? 3 different kinds? There's
In the CDP or what?
well, either one. Are they the same?
Well, let me address the CDP and then I'll let you do the other. In the CDP, we do 3 types of rotations. 1 quarter is administrative, 1 quarter is clinical, and 1 quarter is elective. So the CDP, when you do your rotations, it's 3 quarters long. We break them to 3. For the didactic programs,
For the dietetic internship, it will be dependent on the program, how they set forth their hours. So they'll tell you what their program is made of, like it'll be community, it'll be administrative, it'll be clinical. They set forth their, how they want their rotations to be.
Okay, and so how many did you have to find? 3 different?
I find, actually, just like CDP, we have clinical rotations, we have a food service, and also community rotations. So 3 places I need to find, but some places like clinical, some hospital that does not have long-term cares, just like a nursing home. So I need to look for a nursing home to fulfill the long-term cares.
Did you have to pick an elective too?
Sorry?
An elective rotation?
There's no
So you don't
elective
have- okay.
in my program, because my program is more focused on food service. So the whole program is 7 months. It's 3 months in food service, another 3 months in hospital, and then 2 weeks in WIC, and another 2 weeks in long-term cares. So pretty much.
Thank you.
So my programs spend more time at the administrative rotations. So.
Thank you.
Professor Hillstrom?
I'm sorry I came late. Did you guys mention WIC as another internship possibility?
No, we have not mentioned
WIC. That's another route. Once you graduate, you can start working for PHFE WIC, and usually after a year or 2, you can be accepted to their internship program. So you can get a job and start working, and then start your internship a year or 2 later. So that's a 4th route. So there's 4 ways, and a lot of you, it sounds like you haven't even looked at the website yet, the eatright.org website, where they have all the information about internships, and I would suggest spending a couple hours looking through that. People tend to come in my office very hopeless, and I say go to the website There's 4 different routes to get your internship done. A lot of people are doing distance now, and all the distance are slightly different, so you need to know what you're applying for. Another one of my students, for her distance, she had to do the skilled nursing counted for her clinical. So she just had to find a skilled nursing site, and that was pretty easy compared to a clinical. So she was able to do it that way. So you have to really be on the ball and start getting all of your ducks in a row in December. Don't wait until February 1st or whatever, last minute, okay?
Can I add to that? For applications, work on it a little every day because it's not an application that you could do in 24 hours. Just to let you know on that. So work on it a little every day. Once you get frustrated with it, which can happen, leave the computer, do something that you enjoy and come back to it, because if you get frustrated, what happens? You don't want to do it, mistakes happen, right? So I would say, take a break, do something that you enjoy, and then go back and work a little a day.
Especially if you apply for DPD, make sure you submit the transcript request at the admission 1 month before the deadlines. Here, it's very slow. I mean the transcript processing, give it at least 1 month for the transcript. Because I almost missed the deadline because they sent it so late. So make sure you guys send the transcript as early as possible in here. So ELAT is very fast, and UCLA is fast too. So.
This is for the students. What do you think made you competitive as far as like your personal resumes? Like, what do you feel made you get in? Like something specific or hours or?
Besides volunteer work, I also worked as a nutritionist at Clínica Médica San Miguel, which is a clinic here in Los Angeles. There's several clinics, and they hired me as a nutritionist. So basically, I would see patients and give them general guidelines about nutrition using my pyramid, and that gave me a lot of the experience and kind of showed leadership. It did show leadership, and so that's something that the director from my internship was looking for. And yeah, all the volunteer that I did as well.
And I knew that I wanted to go the CDP route. I knew that that was the only route that I wanted to do. And since I knew that, I got to know Dr. Jambazian before I even set foot on his campus. So every single quarter, I'm taking biology at this location. This is my grade. I'm keeping my grade point average. This is where I'm interning. You got one like,
oh yeah, I mean, I knew Nancy so well.
You know my face, and she already knew me. So I made sure that, and I always would say, what else can I be doing to look better? What else can I be doing? So the volunteering, very important. If you show that you're passionate and you're committed, that's it. So you have good letters of recommendation because you're passionate and you're committed to nutrition. Doing the volunteer work and keeping up your grades, and just getting to know the people in the program and making sure that those ducks are done.
Yeah, I think you guys need to show your passions on. You really want to go into the internship, and also oh, I forgot what I'm going to say. Yeah, we'll come back. I forgot.
Michelle?
Yeah, I just have a quick question in terms of coursework for the internships. What if you have one remaining course that's going to be finished within the first 5 weeks of the summer quarter? Is that okay?
Would that be for the didactic internship?
Yeah.
Yeah, not for
As long as you could complete all coursework prior to the start date of the internship program, you're fine.
Okay, I'm a little confused. You said there's 4 different routes for internships. I feel a little uninformed. All I got was that there's a distance one, but what are the other 3?
CDP.
CDP.
And then the regular internship.
Okay.
And then WIC.
And WIC.
And then WIC. So that's 4 months. Okay.
Jackie?
As far as for Dr. Jambazian, when you get a flood of applications, obviously we know it's a lottery, but when you pick your selection, like what is the ideal student in your eyes that would make the best?
Oh, no loaded question.
Like what are you looking for? What should be
Perfection.
So what's gonna make us more competitive?
Okay, I'm looking for, what's really, I want to read a letter of intent that shows me passion, that shows me that you have a true commitment. I want to see good, solid grades, but they don't have to be A+. And I want to also see letters of recommendation that show me that when you're out in the field doing things, whether it be classwork or working, even just a regular job, anything, that whatever you do, you're doing at 100%. I want you to stand out. And I think all of you here can do that in your own areas. That's the problem. We often have 200 fantastic applicants. And it's really hard at that point to determine.
All the nutrition faculty review.
Yes, I mentioned
So
that.
she mentioned that, but another thing that I like to see is that you're not just volunteering for your community nutrition class, that you volunteer above and beyond what's required for our program. It's pretty clear when people put down that they worked a couple places here and there for a month or two. I'm like, you're just trying to meet the minimum. Other people that are doing it for years somewhere, and then you get that amazing letter of rec. We know that you're
Remember,
committed.
we know what places you go for, you know, nutrition 414B and for community nutrition. We know those places, so all over and above is what we're looking for.
Okay, so I guess my next question is, so would that disqualify a fantastic student from the next fantastic student, and then that, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's two people that have volunteered in all these amazing places, and one did it for the community nutrition, and obviously one did it for a year somewhere else, so would that person then be more likely to do it?
It's the extra that we're looking at. Remember, we have 200. You have to stand out a little bit. It's, you know, otherwise it is straight lottery. Otherwise, if you're all exactly the same, we close our eyes and we pick. You know, it's what it ends up being if you're all excellent. And you just pray that you're in that picking, you know?
Kristen?
Okay, so for DPD, so if you're graduating fall 2012, do you not apply to this computer matching? Or
You won't be ready.
Okay, so you need to be graduating spring.
You're undergrad, right?
Uh-huh,
So you have to have your degree
okay.
before you can move on to internship. You cannot move on if you didn't have your undergraduate degree.
Okay, so before you can even apply, you must have an undergraduate degree.
Yes, so you have to have your
You can't just
undergraduate
be
degree.
like almost finished by the time you're gonna start.
But you just have to be graduated. You have to be graduated.
So the thing is, for the dietetic internship, you have to have either had your undergraduate degree, or if you're a graduate student, you have to have completed the didactic program coursework in order to move on. If you haven't completed the coursework and if you haven't graduated with your degree, you cannot move on to the internship. So if you're going to be done fall 2012, you have the option of applying to the fall match, which is going to be a deadline in September, and notification will be in November, and you begin at the beginning of the year. At that second application cycle, there's about 30 to almost 50 programs participating. This upcoming one, there's over 300. So you can choose to wait and then focus on your application process for the spring match, or if you choose, you could apply to the fall match. It's up to you.
But the first one you would be able to apply to would be the fall, if you're graduating fall 2012.
Correct. And then for the fall match, there's none that's local in the LA region.
Okay.
All right, so the closest will be Central California. All right?
So there is a possibility in the DPP to intern locally. I mean, is there a possibility to do it in-state? Does it have to be out of the state?
It doesn't have to be out of state. The
So
application is a nationwide application process.
So there is a possibility to stay in-state and
Yes.
semi-local?
Yes.
Anywhere in the LA County? I'm
Oh,
not gonna say LA.
local will be Seaside, which is Northridge, Cal Poly Pomona, Cal State Long Beach, the VA hospital in LA. Those are all local, and those are the ones I usually see students applying for because they want to stay local. But moving outward a little bit would be going down south to San Diego. There's a few there, and then moving up north in the Bay Area. Moving east a little bit would be in like the Nevada region. Okay, so those are the ones I usually see.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with any like paid internships?
Oh yeah, I applied to one of those, but it's super hard to get in. Yeah, one of those they pay, 1,500.
is the only one, right?
Oh, I didn't apply for VA. VA is one of those. Yeah.
Hard to get into, hard to get into.
They're rare that it's paid. The VA hospital does pay you, but the tuition that they have is twice the amount that they have to give you. So it's like, say it's a $20,000 internship, they will pay you about $10,000 or so.
Oh, how about
Yeah, it's not the same thing. Yeah.
But you still have to pay. It's not going to be a free internship. There's no free internship out there.
It's school. Just think of it like school.
It's school, yeah.
So I have a question. Say you apply and you don't get in for the DPD. Do they keep your application so that come spring you can apply again? How often can you apply if you don't get in
You
the
can
first time?
apply as many times as you want. It's dependent on the computer company to hold on to your application. It's still new. Last year was the first year where they had the online internship application for the big match, which is the spring match. So I don't know if they held it to this year. So you need to contact the company to make sure if they are going to hold your application or not. If they do, then great. Then you just need to update information and then move from there. So when you reapply, you need to see why or what happened to the point where what you will need to improve on. Because if it's the same application, you're applying to the same program, if you haven't done anything different, how would that make you more competitive this time around when it wasn't that competitive last time around? Okay. So you need to see how to improve so that you could show that improvement, that you've made that change, so they could take a second look at your application.
Elliot, do you have a question?
Yeah, what is the likelihood to get into the internships for the local schools? I know you said Long Beach, and Poly, because they're also taking in about 20-something students, and most likely it'll be from their campus.
They don't take in 20.
Oh, they take more?
No, they take less.
Oh,
Cal Poly Pomona have 15 students. They take 16. And Long Beach, 10 something. Yeah.
My dietetic internship was accepted 10.
So it's less. On average, it's about only 4 or 5 students that get admitted to the program. Some may have a little bit more. It's just, however, they have their accreditation contract with ADA. Now, nationwide statistics show that it's a 50-50 chance of getting in. I don't know for each individual program. You need to contact the program director regarding their statistics. But nationwide, because of the number of students who need internships and the number of slots available, it's a 50-50 shot because there's too many students right now and not enough sites.
All right. Do you see that changing? Is there anything that's going to improve our chances? I mean, is the ADA working on anything?
They just had an article in the
they're working on
There
it
are.
about the lack of spots.
They're aware of the problem,
Yeah.
because it's really a problem nationwide.
Yeah, at the ADA conference this year, they had a panel on it about letting universities do, like the people that didn't get matched, to do their DPD at their university. So they would have, like, it'd be like a third program, like the CDP, the distance, and there'd be another program here, and they'd get money for that.
It will be,
But it's going to take a while.
it's called the individualized supervised practice. So that will be offered available to DPD programs, CDP programs, and DI. So it's offered to all those, and then we'll have to go through an accreditation process. But it hasn't been cleared yet, but that's what they have posed to do, and I think they're doing a pilot study of it.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Okay, so Michelle and then Jackie.
Okay, mine is very, very quick. These programs that you're talking about locally, like CSULA and Cal Poly Pomona, do those fall within the distance category where I have to apply to them school as well as apply to the internship?
Those are not distance programs. There's only about 15 distance programs, and they're all across the U.S.
And then, is it true that the window after you graduate, it's like 5 years to find an internship, then you have to
They need you to stay current in your nutrition information. So attend conferences, seminars, anything that could kind of continue the education and keep your nutrition information current. They'll see that. So it's like accumulating continuation units at that time once you've graduated. So you have that 5-year span, after which you need to do something either to go take refresher courses in community colleges, go to attend seminars which go over the nutrition or current nutrition trends. So that will keep you current with everything, and you can apply and show that you're current with your nutrition info.
All right, well, we want to let's give everybody a hand. We have some gifts for you guys.
Oh, thank you. How nice and smaller.
It's a boy gift. It's a boy gift. That's why.
I know.
You have the most degrees. So I know Professor Luke has a list of people who, if you're interested in getting information about distance internship programs, she emails you out. So if you're not on that list, you might want to get on it. And she's going to have meetings coming up, and I'm sure everyone else, if they want to give you their email address, maybe they will, and you can ask them questions. Yes.
Just about the CDP applications. Just so that you all know, they will be available starting December. We're trying to get them on our website even earlier, so you might want to start checking so you can start the process. But one of the most important things is to submit a complete application, which means all your letters of recommendation, all your transcripts, everything in that completed envelope, and drop it off in our office that way, or send it to our office. The reason being, we don't lose anything and we have a complete application. Meredith can open it up, put it in your file, and we don't have to worry about it. Sometimes when things come piecemeal, they get lost, or they go to somebody else's office and we never see them, and then it might show up that you don't have a complete application. And then, if it's not complete, we don't even look at it. So I would suggest strongly to please make sure your application is complete before you turn it in. Good question?
Yeah, your transcripts, should we be sending them out to the nutritional office, or maybe like
Have them
sealed?
sent to you sealed, and then put them in the envelope and give it to us all together, so we do not lose anything.
So we have to do that now, right?
Do it now. Start applying for your transcripts right now. Okay.
Well, it takes a month.
Some places take a week and some take a month.
Well, mine will be coming from here.
Okay, apply now.
For the dietetic internships, for the application itself, you'll need to print out a form to be attached to your transcript. So you need to wait until December, the earliest. It's just so that they could scan it appropriately to the correct person and not have to track you down to your application. When you print that out, it produces an ID code in which they can scan it with your transcript. So you have to attach that along with your transcript.
This is my first quarter here. Do you want official transcripts from, because I plan on applying?
Official transcripts have to come from any college or university that you have attended, no matter what. We need to see everything. ADA requires it, and we have to be official. For CDP, I'm just.
All right, that's it. You guys, and that's it. Okay. Your class.
Don't you want to include the fall 2011 quarter? So if we ask for the transcript now, it will not have it.
It doesn't matter. You tell us what you're going to be taking.
For the DPD?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter either. As long as with the transcript, I need to know when it will be. If you want to wait till you finish all and get the grades posted in December, you can request it at that time. You'll still have time.
You still have time
until February. So because if you have any outstanding coursework, I need to submit the form of the Declaration of Intent to Complete, which states that or just lets me know and lets the program director know that, yes, I know that I haven't finished all the coursework yet, but I will finish before I start, and I usually sign it. If it's online, I just submit it. The students verify it and either sign it and submit it. So it's just almost like a binding contract. Yes, we understand we didn't complete it, but we will before we start the program.
And then for letters of recommendation for the CEP, that's okay for us to collect as well and put in there?
Once again, if they're going to be sealed, have them sealed, but collect them, put them in one envelope. I want a complete application.
Okay.
I can't stress that enough so we do not lose anything, or it doesn't go to the wrong place.
Are the applications due February 15, like?
Yes, same thing as the DPD programs. We're keeping the due dates exactly the same so you don't get misspelled. Just remember, ours are paper, theirs are not. Okay, one last question.
Is it the same as last year's application? Can we start or wait till merit?
Why don't you wait, we have just a few minor changes. Wait till they have the new one because the dates are different on it too. Okay?
So if anybody needs directions for today's nutrition education meeting, ask me. Here we go. And thanks a lot for coming. I hope it was really good.